Make a note here that these float positions on the Carbon Z Cub are positioned backmost. So I have already positioned the front one. You'll notice the front ones have the 3 bars on them and the back ones are a little different here. So we're going to start by getting all those installed first. So the Rock came and checked my work, and he realized that these brackets actually have a couple different sized there's a couple different sizes of holes. So the larger hole out of the 2 on the outside, the bigger one faces forward or goes forward, and that's true on the back and the front. So you can see that hole that's facing on the forward part of the floats here. That bigger one faces forward, and the same here. The next step is to install the rudder, and you can see they've ground down a flat spot on there that makes it easy for that set screw. So we'll line up the servo arm here with a pre-installed servo with that set screw, and so we'll just slide that down and put it in place. Okay, now the instructions referred to a clevis linkage for connecting this here, but there's no clevis, it's just a Z-bend, and so you want to connect this part to this Z-bend before you put that up there, otherwise it's problematic. And it's a nice little rudder though. It's basically spring loaded, and I'm going to show you that spring here on the other side. I can focus, and that's what keeps it from getting hung up on stuff in the water. This is the underside of the Carbon Z Cub, and these are the pieces that we're going to be using to attach the float set. These are the 39 and roughly ½ floats for the Carbon Z Cub that are assembled, and you'll see the wire setup here in the front and how that angles back, and then the back strut, it angles forward. So let's get this attached. Alright, so we have the covers on the holes there, and all the wires are in place, so now we just have to strap them all down. When I was attaching this back bracket, it made an audible snap into place. I think it's when it connected onto these is when the snap happened. And I noticed that these little covers or strap downs, they're shaped. It's a little difficult to see here, but they have a certain shape to them. So anyways, you want to make sure those go in so they're nice and flush with the fuselage. Now, I'm not sure, but I think the larger flathead screws go in the back here. Okay, so I've attached hinge tape to tie down the servo connection. Now I just have to get it connected up inside. Now I'm not sure what they expected here, but there's the servo plug, and it's short. It does not reach the receiver, so I'm gonna have to figure out what to do here. So I ended up adding about an 8-inch servo extension wire, and that made it a lot easier to route up through here to the receiver. And I don't know, maybe I'll be able to disconnect it, but this gives me a little more wiggle room, so that's nice. Because of the Z-bend connector on the rudder, I wasn't able to adjust the rudder. It was off when I plugged it in with the Y connector, so I ended up using an open channel on the receiver. It was channel 5, to just plug the rudder servo in directly. It's not on a Y harness, so I was able to trim the rudder on its own.